Okay, hopefully this video is going to be a little bit better down here on my couch. I've got audio, we've got light, we got the ring light like we're some sort of an Instagram model. But damn it, that's not, I did this wrong. I had this whole intro that I wanted to put on this video. Louie, hey Bubba, I'm trying to film a video right now. Can daddy work? Can I work? I gotta make money to buy your dog food, Louie. When your butt ends you up in jail and your mama couldn't care less, like, oh well. That was good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and we're back. We're back with another prison-related video. It's been a long time since we've been doing those, but we're gonna get back on track with those. Today I want to share with you guys two prison-related news stories, very crazy stories that I'm just running across. I believe both of these stories were posted on the After Prison Show fan page, one by Becky Gurley, very special shout out to you, and I apologize, I don't know who posted the other one. Both of these stories pertain to your butt, your ass, your whole ass, ending you up in jail. The most ironic thing that you could think about. Sacred territory while locked up, your hind parts will be. Oftentimes referred to as the Junes or Junie cakes. But yeah, we're not gonna waste a whole lot of time on trivial things in this video. Let's go ahead and get into the first of these two stories. And again, both of these pertain to your butt, your whole ass, getting locked up in jail. Also, real quick side note, we talked about both of these stories yesterday on the Bobo. The Bobo is sort of like practice. If the story lands really good, if it sticks good on the Bobo, it usually gives me a good sense as to whether or not we could make a video about that story. And there's been many prison-related news stories that we've addressed on the Bobo that have not made the cut for an actual video. But the reason I bring that up is because if we address it on the Bobo and then we do a video about it, it's always my hope to try to do it better in the video. Folks, this first story is brought to us by TMZ. Now, I wish I could show you guys the video because there is a video that accompanies this story, but that would probably violate some sort of copyright guidelines. I don't honestly know, but I will be showing you guys a couple of screenshots that accompany this story. Let's dive the one-arm dive. Head first up into this little dookie stain of a story. I think I want to start first by introducing you to the culprit, the suspect involved in this story, and it's a woman by the name of Emily Owings. 28 years old from Oklahoma. Folks, the only thing I know about Oklahoma is what I've learned from the First 48 and also Live PD. There sure is a boatload of methamphetamine out there. And maybe that's what led to everything that led up to this story with a TMZ title that says, "No shit, please let me poop, Mr. Officer." Almost sounds like a song lyric right there. No shit, please let me poop, Mr. Officer. Folks, I'm actually gonna link this story down below if you'd like to see this video for yourself. It's disappointing, except for the excuses that the young woman gives as to why she can't go to jail. Now, without reading word for word everything that this story tells us about, let me go ahead and tell you guys what I learned from reading this story myself. 28-year-old Emily Owings of Oklahoma was pulled over allegedly because of the fact that she didn't have a seatbelt on. Now, I don't necessarily buy that because I've never seen anybody get pulled over for not having a seatbelt on. Now, of course, there's been many people who get pulled over and the police say that's what they pulling you over for, but I usually tend to believe that they're suspicious of something else. And in my own personal belief, I feel like Emily Owings, 28 years old from Oklahoma, was probably leaving from some sort of a red zone, a drug territory, an area where the police, they were watching. She must have been looking suspicious. But did she have a valid excuse for looking suspicious? Forget the fact as to whether or not she was actually leaving from a drug zone, a red zone. And maybe the reason she was looking suspicious is because, like she says in the video, this young lady had to shit real bad. And I guess that's what probably happens. I mean, I remember my times from being in active addiction. Anytime the dope man would pick up or I would pick up the pack, them bubble guts would attack. So I actually believe her excuse, saying that she really had to poo. But when you watch the video, and again, you'll have to click the link if you guys want to see that, but when you watch the video, she makes a number of excuses. First saying that she has to dookie real bad, dookie everywhere, and then she also says that today is her birthday. Now, I'm not sure if they would get clarification as to whether or not this day, in fact, was actually her birthday, but she was making up a bunch of excuses. And then the cops would run her name, find out that not only was she driving without a license or on a revoked license, she also had a couple of outstanding warrants. Now, if you watch the video, you'll hear the police say, we're going to contact the other jurisdiction to see if they want to extradite you. And if they don't, we're going to let you go. I have never heard of that happening. I've never heard of that happening. I've never heard of a person, and I know from my own personal experience because I've been pulled over with warrants, and you go straight to jail, do not collect $200. There is no way out of that situation. Maybe it's different strokes for different folks, but I've never seen that personally happen. So I believe that the cops were lying to her, maybe trying to make her feel a little bit better. But if they were, all of that would be in vain, because this young lady, Emily, 28 years old, from Oklahoma, she would end up putting the vehicle that she was driving in gear and then getting in a high-speed chase with the police. And maybe she was just trying to hurry up and find a public restroom. Maybe she was trying to find a porta-john. We don't honestly know. Spoiler alert, the video will end very unclimatically. Unclimatically? No wrecks, no crashes, no cop cars going airborne. I've seen another police chase where that actually happened. She ends up getting apprehended. And while kicking and screaming and crying on her way to the police car, she actually asked the cop a very interesting question. She says, "Can I poop in your car?" And I'm not sure if she actually did or not, but folks, I'd like to believe that she probably did so, in fact. Dookie everywhere in the back of that cop car, because looking at her mugshot, Cody, right here, if I was able to slide that in, that's pretty awesome. If not, just blame it on my subpar editing skills, or Cody's. Looking at her mugshot right here, she does in fact look like she has dookied all over herself. And I didn't even know women did this. I didn't know women doo-dooed. Folks, looking at this mugshot, she does in fact look like she has shat herself. And if you're anything like me and you're out in public and you see somebody, you might wonder to yourself, damn, did that person just shat themselves? Because maybe they look like they did. I can't honestly be sure. Folks, if you need a reference photo to decipher whether somebody that you're seeing out in public has in fact shat themselves, unfortunately, you can use Emily's mugshot. Now, I don't know when this story actually took place. Maybe it took place recently. This story was published on September the 21st of this year, but this could have happened at any time. And I mention that because I don't know if Emily is currently locked up right now or if she is out free again. But if she is, and whether she's locked up or not, this could still have happened for her. But I just cannot imagine what it would be like to see your face plastered all over the internet with a story headline that says, "Please let me poo, Mr. Officer." And again, I just didn't think women did that. You learn something new every day, though. My wife don't do it. Never seen my wife dookie. Never. And we married. And that lets me believe right there that women just don't do that. Wherever Emily is in life right now, I do hope that she is doing better. If she is still locked up, I hope that she's taking this time to try to better herself and come out of this situation and rise above the headlines. Moving on to the second story that I want to share with you guys, folks. Also in relation to your buttocks and your whole ass landing you in jail, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy right here. A Louisiana man by the name of Justin Savoni, 24 years old, from down in Louisiana. He got arrested. And real quick, first thing I want to mention about this story, Louisiana, the worst state you can get locked up in. And why is because Louisiana has the highest, or one of the highest, incarceration rates of any state in the United States. But what this young man did, he absolutely deserved to get locked up, and he's lucky that things didn't turn out a lot worse for him than what they actually did. Folks, the headline of this story featuring Justin from Louisiana says, man sentenced after police find a loaded gun in his buttocks during a search. Now, folks, they're not saying that they found this thing clamped up there like some taco meat, using your ass cheeks like some taco shells, just to hold that pistola right there. It almost seems like this man had the whole gun. And that had to hurt. You know, I've heard about people doing some drastic things to avoid apprehension or to get caught with certain things. And of course, we've all heard about people, you know, stuffing something up there in the old prison suitcase to try to avoid a charge. Have you ever done it? And if you haven't, I want to ask you a very valid question, and please pose your comment and answer down below. But let's just say hypothetically you were out there doing something you weren't supposed to be doing, and you had something you weren't supposed to have. And you was up in a car and there was nowhere to hide whatever said item might be. Would you risk getting caught with that item? Or would you realize that there's a first time for everything, and just maybe this could help you not go to jail that night? I would never put myself in a situation where I'd have to do something like that. I'm living a legit life, trying to be as positive as I possibly could be, and I encourage each and every one of you to try to do the same. Because if you don't, you might find yourself like Justin, sitting in the back of a cop car on your way to jail with a pistol stuffed up your ass. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Now, again, one thing that I want you guys to take from this headline is the fact that they say that Justin was sentenced for this. You got to imagine, Justin sitting in the back of the cop car. My God, we can use my couch as a prop. Justin sitting in the back of the cop car, hands cuffed behind his back, just wondering to himself, what's going to happen when they strip search me? Or maybe he had never been locked up before. Maybe he had no idea that he was going to have to get butt-ball naked, squat down and get your eagle on and I hope I was able to find a sound effect that sounded like a gun falling out of your ass. I know that's going to be hard to find, though. Justin must have been green to the whole judicial system and what happened when you go to jail. He probably didn't know that he was going to get strip searched. Or maybe he was thinking, these cops ain't never going to find this. I'm too smart for the cops. Justin, you're not, because you ended up in the back of a car that belonged to a cop. I'm trying to make everything kind of rhyme and have like a little bebop type of feel. It's probably making this video quite horrendous. If it is, I do apologize. If it's not, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I'd appreciate that. Every like adds a minute to my life. And I feel like I can breathe, so I know you're hitting that like button. Now, to give you guys a little more context on this story, why was Justin initially getting arrested? Well, back on December 28th, 3 days after Christmas of 2019, police responded to suspicious activity in a home he was occupying with a female acquaintance. Folks, I asked myself a lot of questions when I read that sentence right there. Was this house abandoned? Was it a flip house? Who was the girl? Was she of age? I hope so. And what sort of drug paraphernalia was up in that dwelling with them? Well, folks, they wouldn't say anything about the woman who was with him, so I'm guessing that maybe things were okay there. But they did say that they found marijuana and marijuana smoking paraphernalia. Folks, that is still a crime in certain states. Here in Virginia, it's a civil ticket, actually. But ain't it crazy how the devil's lettuce can be legal in one state and completely illegal in another? They also said that they found additional weapons at this place as well. Multiple other firearms were discovered in his truck at the scene. Yo, Justin was ready for war. He had the gun on the hip, the gun in the boot holster, and also a gun in the prison suitcase. You weren't gonna go out there messing with Justin. The story makes no mention of, was it during the squat and cough process where that thing just popped right out of his buttocks. But I'm quite sure that that's where it happened at. But they say something really interesting here because, again, we don't know whether he was just clamping the Junes or whether he had that money suction cupped up inside of him. But they do say something that leads me to believe the latter. And what they say is the pistol is more than 4 inches long with a barrel of 2.5 inches. They don't mention girth. So again, that keeps me on the fence as to how he actually was suitcasing this gun. So police respond to a house for suspicious activity. They find Justin there with a truckload of guns, a woman, they're trespassing. They've got the devil's lettuce and also smoking paraphernalia. Justin goes to jail while getting strip searched. They find another gun on his body, in his body possibly. I'm pretty sure that charge is transporting contraband inside of a correctional facility, but we're talking about a gun here, not a cell phone, not some cigarettes. We're talking about a weapon, a real live weapon. I got to imagine that's a hell of a charge. And, I say all of that because, again, the story says that Justin was sentenced. You got to imagine this guy is going away. Down in Louisiana, one of the highest incarceration rates of any state here in the U.S. Justin is gone. If you guys want to find this guy on JPay, you're not going to be able to. Because when I read how much time this man actually received, I was just as shocked as when I learned about where he was actually concealed carrying that gun at. The only thing that makes sense to me, folks, is that Justin told on everybody. He had to have. Because Seva Oni was sentenced to a 5-year suspended prison sentence during a district court appearance. He received 3 years of probation and an order to serve 90 days at the Lafourche Parish Jail. Dude got 90 days. He must have never been locked up before, and that makes a lot of sense because he had no idea what to expect going into that strip search. As a part of the terms of his probation, he is barred from owning or possessing a firearm. I know that feeling all so well. Visiting bars or lounges or indulging in excessive use of alcohol or illegal drugs. Damn crazy story right there, folks, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Really want to know what you guys think about both of these stories. So please leave a comment down below and let me know. I hope that this was a video that you guys enjoyed, and if it was, please leave a like and a comment on this video. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace! It's okay, baby. You can go back to sleep.